Hello everybody, Uncle Pot Squatch here. Making a little video because I figured I'd clarify a few things. There's been a few people that have been raising some questions in terms of the oncoming lights as well as our now partnership and working with SoulStrip. Um, First of all, we've been talking to SoulStrip for quite some time. The beginning part of how we began talking to SoulStrip is I have a very close friend. His name's Tom. He's an electrical engineer who's been helping me work on stuff and figure out stuff, and he's vastly more knowledgeable in terms of tech than I am. And that's just the truth. I know weed titties and I know basic parameters of good lights, but I'm not an electrical engineer and I'll never claim to be one. So my friend Tom has been kind of screwing around with a bunch of different setups and a bunch of different sources for different things and just sort of getting a scope on things for us. And then, he found that SoulStrip strips, which are very similar to a quantum board in that they're the same top shelf diode from Samsung. They're very well made. Nothing but great quality control on those parts are very good. And he felt that we should try to incorporate using their diodes into our lights because, let's be honest, that's kind of step one on a grow light is having a good diode. The diode is everything. The second most important thing, almost as important as the first, maybe even arguably so more important in a sense, is the driver. Now, in terms of the industry, anyone who's worth their bacon these days, I mean, the industry go-to for a really reliable, powerful driver that's going to work is the Meanwell, the HLG Meanwell driver. It's not from HLG that we know as the Grow Light Company, totally separate company. It's literally just the same name. It's called an HLG Meanwell driver. That is the industry standard. And there are a lot of other options out there, but there really isn't in terms of for the best performance. So we've already been working with using SoulStrips and Meanwell drivers. My friend Tom, then I sort of said, well, what would be the best way for us to go about sort of doing this? How should I approach them? And so he said, well, just, initially reach out to the company SoulStrip and start talking to them. SoulStrip isn't a huge company. They're like my company, quite small. My new friend Brett at SoulStrip is the owner. My name is, well, you know me as the Podsquatch. My actual name is Josh. So Josh and Brett have been talking for a while now. SoulStrip is a smaller company, and we began kind of just sharing a bit about each other's pasts, sharing about what's important to us in terms of, lighting tech, sharing what's important in terms of how to treat consumers, how to bring things to market, what's important to us. And Brett and I very quickly realized that we see eye to eye on almost everything. And we're very like minded fellows when it comes to a lot of different points. So Brett and I kept talking. And the more and more I began learning into what is involved if I were to do a ground up build. And that's what I think that a lot of people are getting, not a lot, a few people have been kind of concerned about was that this isn't a fully from scratch ground up build that's being released. And that's just what we're doing now. I learned at a very young age that it is vastly more effective to do things. But one second, I'm going to say goodbye to my wife and then I'll film a clip too. All right, everybody, and welcome to clip 2. Where was I? Early on in age, like I said, I learned that a strong team is the most important thing. And, basically, as I was learning where if I was to do a custom run of heat sinks, developing my own, I can't even remember the proper exact fancy terms. It basically means sort of our own kind of shape and runs for the aluminum strips that will turn into heat sinks and doing all of that. Getting a custom one of those done alone is about $6,000 to $8,000, if not a little bit more. And then I would have to get a workshop. I'd have to start machining them myself or finding another company to machine my design for me. And that was just the sort of the beginning part. And so very quickly I was realizing that in order to start bringing you stuff, it would take forever. And I'm sitting here going, okay, so I've got a really knowledgeable dude here who can help me do things. Big shout out to Tom. But holy crap, how am I going to do this? I'm spending what little money I have to get the other parts of the store going for everybody. Let's think here. So Brett and I kept speaking. Brett's company is based in California. He's an American, I'm a Canadian, both North Americans. both North Americans with very similar hearts and wants and desires in terms of how business should be done and what we want to do in this industry. So Brett and I started realizing, well, hell, I mean, if we're both these two guys who are men on missions, as it were, and wanting to do these things, well, why don't we kind of put our two heads together here? Let's make a team. And so our team right now has realized that if we kind of combine a few little things, do a tweak here, a tweak there, we can have a very reliable, cost-effective big Squatch and little Squatch light for you to release from the Mark 1 get-go. We also realize that we can bring that to market fairly quickly for all of you. And that isn't cutting corners in terms of quality or anything. What it is it's trying to find a way to take care of you as soon as possible, as well as to get the balls rolling of everything going, so then we can continue to bring and develop new tech and new setups, both my company, which is Pot Squash Growers Enterprises Inc., and Soul Strips Photon Solutions down in California, aka Josh and Brett with a side of Tom. And so we decided, hey, well, if as long as we can kind of come to terms on how we would do this and how things would work, this could be quite beneficial to both parties here. And then the third party, which is the Pot Squash growers around the world. And so we decided to move ahead on that because at the end of the day, we would have been using the same driver, the same diodes, which are the two most important parts. Brett had some basic setup designs in terms of how to make some, cost-effective heat sinks already in place that we could utilize to putting up these rigs and putting them together for all of you. As well as Brett saw eye to eye with me in terms of customer service, warranties, taking care of people, and walking the journey with people, and trying to help people. Even if something breaks, we'll give you a new part for it, or we might have to charge a cost on the part, but we don't, or a little over cost, but we're not going to rip you off. We're going to take care of you. We're going to be there walking with you and trying to help you there the whole way. I expressed to Brett that I would like to be included in terms of customer service as well, and just sort of really developing this co-brand together and being there to help everyone that we're dealing with. And Brett was completely on board with that as well. So we've got lights that are going to be able to launch fairly quickly with top shelf parts, a very easy to use ergonomic design for you. And at the end of the day, we're building an army here, my friends. We're building a community. Each individual, each different entity that comes together to try to help all of us on our journey here is how we build a stronger community. So I don't personally foresee any issues with what is being done here. We've got two guys who want to be there for you, and we're working together to make things happen. We're going to be able to bring you something that's cost effective and reliable and is going to blow anything else that's a knockoff out of the water, and it is a direct contender to go up against any of the already hugely established big grow lights. And we know we have. A lot of people are like, well, you haven't tested their tech. What do you think my friend Tom's been doing for the last number of months? Why do you think we even called them in the first place? We have been playing with their tech. We were very impressed. That is why we reached out to talk to them. And in the end, it's actually gone really well. We've added another valuable member and partner to the Pot Squash Growers Army, which is, in fact, Soul Strip, which is my friend Britt. And at the end of the day, we're just two wee titty-loving guys who want to help you out and take care of all of you. So you can lay any concerns of this or that to rest, that this is just us slapping something on there and just saying, hey, here you go. No. This is a start to a new chapter for all of us. It's the start to a new chapter for my company and a new chapter for Brett's company. It is the start of a very new chapter for the Pot Squatches. Because at the end of the day, the stronger our team is, the more diverse we make that team and this community, the better that we all will be, and the better that all of us will be able to do things. The better that I'm going to be able to bring you cost-effective, well-working, trustworthy tech, and also just also at the end of the day, let's grow some good motherfucking weed titties. I mean, that's always been one of my number one goals with these damn things, is let's bring the people some lights that are going to grow dope-ass weed titties. They're going to bring them some great results, and they're not going to cost a mortgage to get them. That's what we're doing. That's the whole point of this partnership. And know that this is just step one. There will be upgrades and new ideas. And Brett is someone who loves to brainstorm with people. My buddy Tom is a dude who loves to brainstorm. I'm a dude who loves to brainstorm. We're just a bunch of creative, wee titty loving motherfuckers who are just fucking around and trying to help you all out. So anyone who may be concerned or worried about any of these things, there's nothing in any sense to be worried about. If anything, we should all be pretty excited because we were able to jump ahead. Basically, what I was starting to realize would have been an 8 to 12 month process, if not longer, and something that I wasn't 100% sure how to swing it individually. I am but one man, and one man who knows many things, but does not know everything. And so this partnership is going to allow us to, one, not only get things out to market to you fairly quickly, it's going to allow us to be able to cater to all of you, because that's one thing that I was concerned about too, was trying to figure out, oh, how the hell am I going to ship these things all over the world for people? I have never done anything like that. That's all very new to me. Luckily, our new team member, our new teammate, our new partner, Brett, my friend Brett, has figured out a lot of that stuff. So it's really just speeding the process up to bring you great quality grow lights and to really start the chapter of walking with all of you. So my friends, let's just get excited. It's going to be sexy. It's going to be very nice, and it's going to work very well. And it's going to keep coming. I mean, it's going to keep coming, developing, and growing like a wee titty plant, and it's going to be a good time. So my friends, fret not, be excited. It's going to be all right. Yes, Frosty St. Nugs, this may be a little bit as you. Not aggressively, just being honest and reassuring you. Anyway, my friends, keep it sexy, keep it real. Uncle Pasquatch loves you. Hashtag boom, hashtag don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to be yourselves, and don't be afraid to grow your community. Don't be afraid to make new friendships and work as a team. A lone wolf is a beautiful thing, but a pack of wolves is even stronger. And we, the Potsquatch Squallers Army, we're not going nowhere. We're here to stay and have a good time. Anyway, everybody, I love you and have a sexy day. Bye-bye.